In this video, we will try to understand what is a domain, what is a domain controller, and what is an Active Directory. If you plan to be a system administrator, you have to understand those concepts. So, what is a domain? A domain is a form of a computer network that is accessed and administered with a common set of rules, where all user accounts, passwords, computers, printers, groups, and other objects are registered within a central database called Active Directory. And the server that holds the Active Directory database is called the domain controller. A domain controller, commonly referred to as a DC, is a central point of contact, sort of a central hub that is accessed prior to almost any network communication that takes place. The easiest way to describe it is a storage container for all identification that happens on the network. Without a domain, you have to create a username and a password on each computer you want to access. Imagine if you have hundreds of users and computers. Imagine the amount of work that could be done. And even after creating the users' profiles, what happens if some users ask to change their password? You have to do it on all those computers. It's an overwhelming process, isn't it? With a domain controller, however, things are easier. Usernames and passwords are created only once on the domain controller, and you can access any computer on the network using those credentials. Each Windows domain contains at least one domain controller. Usually, there are more than one domain controllers for redundancy and performance reasons. For redundancy, because with only one domain controller, there are risks that this one breaks down and then your entire network will be unavailable. But if you have two domain controllers, even if one breaks down, the second one will be available to authenticate users and allows access to the network resources. The other advantage of having multiple domain controllers is improving your network performance. Imagine this situation. Your organization has multiple sites spread around the country, with one domain controller installed in the head office. All the users on the branch office should be authenticated on that domain controller prior to accessing their computer or to any other resources on the network. This will generate network traffic over the interseat link, and performance can drop down with a slow and not reliable link. Now, if you put a domain controller on the branch office, it allows users authentication on that local DC instead of requesting authentication on the head office DC. It's fast and decreases network traffic between locations. In reality, the number of DCs you should have on your organization depends on many factors. The number of users, the number of locations, the reliability and the speed of your interseat links, and other constraints. In conclusion, we can say that a domain allows you to manage large computers' network. A domain controller provides access to the domain resources based on users' authentication. You need at least one domain controller to manage your domain.